Welcome to your Seint tutorial. You will get your products. This is the palette. It's the size 12. And then your makeup will come in little magnetic tins. You just push and slide and they come out. They are magnetic and they just pop into the palette and you can kind of arrange them however you want. I do recommend keeping at least one of the tin tops. I use them, you kind of slide them in between the tins and then you can pop them out, and that way you don't have to like dig your finger underneath them or, and get them in the makeup. So I think those are good to hold on to. You will also get two brushes. You got the blush and bronzer brush. Both ends are pretty fluffy. This one is like super big and fluffy, and this one is a little bit denser, but it's still fluffy. And then you have the powder brush. One end is very dense and angled, and the other end is fluffy. These obviously have been used. I don't clean my brushes between every use, but at least once a week, and I use our brush cleaner for that. All right, so let's get started. I've got your colors in order. This is Aspen. That's that separate color that I ordered that I'm sending to you. And then this is Aura. This is your brightening color. This is Amber. This will be your main color. This is Henna. It's your contour. Then you have Nude, which will be your cheek. And then the Bella bronzer. And then on the bottom is the Vanilla Dust setting powder. And then, you have room to grow. I just kind of put them in the order that we use them just to make it easier. I went ahead and have a clean, dry face. I sprayed my face with toner. I have a little bit of rosacea cream that I put on. And then I put on primer. And so I've let that sit about 5 to 10 minutes kind of while I got things together to do the video. I am going to start with this Aspen. And that's what we're going to use to kind of cover up any of the spots that need a little extra coverage. I'm going to go ahead and take that angled end of my powder brush, and I am just lightly just kind of tapping it on. It does not take much at all. So I always have redness on my nose. I'm going to do a little bit on that. And I always start with just a tad and just kind of slightly add to it because it's easier to add to instead of just glopping it on there. Like I said, it doesn't take much. You're just doing a real light layer. You can see I've got really veiny eyelids. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of Aspen on my eyelids. I have our Perfector sponge, beauty blender, whatever you want to call it. You may have one of these at home. If not, you can use a brush. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. That was probably a little bit too much, but we're just going to kind of dab it on those spots where I put that Aspen. And we're going to set it a little bit just so it gets that stronghold that we want before we do our next main face. So this was just our color correcting step. Okay, as you can see, it did give us that coverage of the redness where we wanted it. These are actually some scabs that I have. I cut myself using one of those little tinkle razors. I'm not sure how that's gonna end up, but we'll see. I've got a towel right here and I am just kind of wiping that Aspen off. Let's take that angled end and let's go into Aura, which is gonna be our brightest color. I'm just kind of lightly kind of tapping it. And we're gonna start in the center of our face, come down our nose. I don't always put the brightener on the tip of my nose because that's where my rosacea is. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's acting up right now, so I'm not gonna do it there right this second. I'm gonna do it on the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm gonna do it the inner corner of my eye. And I actually kind of turned it. You can see I was doing it like that, but since that's a corner, I'm actually gonna turn it to the smaller side of that point so I can actually like get into my nose. And that's all we're gonna do with that Aura. I'm just gonna take what's left on my brush and just brush it over my eyelids. Okay, let's move on to our main shade. That is Amber. Same thing, I'm just kind of dabbing it in. And I'm just gonna kind of dot it across the forehead. And these are gonna go on the main areas of your face. I'm gonna kind of leave this area open. That's where I'm gonna put our cheek. And I'm just gonna kind of drag down what's left on my neck. Just dot it on my eyes so it kind of all blends. Okay, now we're ready for our contour. We're gonna go to Henna, same end of the brush. And then we're just gonna get right across that hairline. I'm gonna flip it again where it's facing up. I'm gonna find my cheekbone. And I am just gonna kind of flick up that cheekbone towards my hairline. I'm gonna find my jawline. I'm just gonna go draw that line. I'm gonna find that little spot behind my chin, that little cleft, go back about a finger width, and then I'm just gonna kind of pull it into a 3, and that's just gonna kind of fall down our neck. So it's where the natural shadows fall on your face. So we've got all 4 colors on. Use the pointed end for all of this. So we did the color correcting with Aspen, then we did the brightening with Aura, which was kind of right in the middle of our face, kind of in a T. Then we did Amber, which was the main color, Henna, which was our contour, and now we're ready to blend. So I am actually going to flip the powder brush over, and I'm going to use the fluffy end. We're going to work from the inside and go out, and we're just going to pat the makeup into our skin. Literally just kind of pushing and flicking. I'm not doing little circles or anything. I'm just kind of pushing it into my skin. As it sits on your skin, it's going to kind of warm up and just kind of melt itself into your skin. So the creams are movable until we set them. So we kind of tell it where to go. When I get to my contour, kind of flick up and back and push it more towards my hairline. Same on my cheeks. Push up and back and flick. You don't want to do it down. You always want to pull colors up. Okay, at this point I have it blended as I want it. You can keep blending. You don't have to blend as much. It's all personal preference. I'm going to stick with that same fluffy powder end, and I'm just going to kind of lightly press it into that nude, and then just kind of tap it onto my cheek. I didn't really go on the apple. I went just a little bit further back than the apple of my cheek. And you saw it was just like one little press. It doesn't take much at all. If you happen to get too much on your brush, just keep kind of patting and blending, and it will just blend into your skin. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of that nude on my lips. I'm gonna switch over to the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm gonna go to this Bella. I'm gonna take the smaller end. Bronzer, you just kind of want to do it in the shape of an E and a 3. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly dab it in that position. And then we're gonna flip to the real fluffy end and just kind of circular blend it all together. And that's gonna give us that nice summer glow. Kind of warm it up a little bit. So we have got all of these colors on. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over to that Vanilla Dust setting powder. I like to stick with the really big fluffy end of the blush and bronzer. And I just kind of go back and forth. And then I just do a light dusting all over my face. So at this point, you have used all of your Seint. You've got a full face of makeup on. You can finish your eyes, throw on your lips, and you're done and out the door. If you have any questions, let me know. I am here for you, and I hope you have so much fun playing with it. Can't wait to hear from you. Bye.